This case should never have come to trial.
I don't think it's fair to call my clients frauds. Because one time I turned into a dog and they helped me. Thank you.
Your Honor, we would like to withdraw our plea of not guilty and enter a plea of guilty.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery, of a sham, of a mockery, of a travesty, of two mockeries, of a sham.
If we are to have faith in justice, we need only to believe in ourselves.
And the truth shall set you free!
How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Oh, guilty, but with a real good excuse.
I think the truth will come forth.
You can't handle the truth!
Hello, everybody. It's time for just a tad more Law Light, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, FWHlegal.com. We are coming to you live today. Well, it'll be live when we're...
It's live right now.
It's live right now, PJ.
But it won't be on Friday.
Indeed, my friend. 530 Frederica Street is the high-rise White Tower. Everybody's come to know us as the White Tower Boys. That's our... yeah.
I saw somebody spray painting that the other day.
Yeah, graffiti.
Yeah.
Anyway, the White Tower Boys, WTB. White Tower Boys. PJ, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How are you?
Well,
you look very spiffy today.
Well, you've noticed that I have the old coat and tie on. Well, the coat's over the chair now.
You do. Well, you still look nice even without the coat on.
Got the tie on.
Yeah, I like that tie.
As you probably picked up on, we had some... excuse me.
Hey, what's up?
That's what's called eating dinner at 4. We had guests in the office today, which you probably noticed, right?
I noticed a little more traffic than normal.
Yeah. So what we had today was a mediation. First in-person mediation I've had since COVID. Did a couple of mediations via Zoom, and today was everybody masks on.
I was going to say everybody had their masks on.
Right. So we, it was a long day, very stressful case. In mediations, as a rule, most of them take better part of a day.
Right.
But this was a unique case in that I have only been involved in it for 6 months, but the wreck that the case was about began, it happened in June of 2013.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So I got involved just in the last 6 months
Right.
and kind of took on as lead counsel in the case. I can't talk much about the facts of the case because it's subject to a confidentiality provision.
Right.
But all in all, it was a good day for the client, and we were able to get it resolved. So
Cool.
when those happen, you're able to feel good. I always wonder if, what if I would have tried that case? What would the outcome been? But
right.
You get to a point where you can't subject your client to the risk.
But positive outcome nonetheless.
That's right. Very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's been the day. But last time I promised you. Do you remember what it was?
It was some kind of cell phone game.
You're right. It was a cell phone game.
You didn't specify what.
I asked you 2 questions. What were the questions?
Oh, jeez.
Do you have a cell phone?
Oh, yeah. You asked me if I had a cell phone and if I had Google.
Google. So you got Google.
I
on
got
that
both
there
of those. Yeah.
device?
Hopefully this doesn't involve my my browser history.
It does.
Oh, great.
So what we're going to do is pull up Google there on your phone. Okay, everybody, this is the cell phone Google game, and what I'm telling you is we played this at my house about a week or so ago, and it was a good for a lot of laughs. And you guys can play along with us while you're listening here, or if not, this is a great one to kind of pass time when you're on a long trip with your family,
Right.
maybe. But you bring up your your Google browser on.
Right.
On
Not
your
if you're
phone.
driving.
Not if you're driving.
Everyone else can
Everybody
do it,
else
but if
can
you're
play.
driving, you can't.
All right.
do it.
So what is yours? What do you have there? Let me see. Okay, so you've got a little bit different news feed on your Google.
Mine's.
I got Kim Jong-un orders.
Biden and Social Security.
Okay.
Yours is probably more entertaining.
Yeah. As I'm scrolling through these news articles, have you seen the pictures of Rebel Wilson? I mean, man, she has lost all kinds of weight.
That's actually the very second one that popped up on. I have not looked at the photos, though.
Okay, I just got a pop-up message here while we're doing this. We got today's COVID numbers. So before we go any further, let's pull up today's COVID numbers here in Kentucky. Scrolling, and today's case information. Oh, not bad at all. Not bad. 376 new cases. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Back.
She has lost a lot of weight.
Yes, that is a understatement. She's lost a lot of weight.
Did you see I can't think of her name all of a sudden, but Ozzy Osbourne's daughter lost 85 pounds, and she's almost unrecognizable.
Well, I'll tell you somebody that hasn't lost any weight, and that's Kim Jong-un. He looks like he's ordering pet dogs to be confiscated in North Korean capital city. So keep your dogs away from North Korea.
I think you might need a hobby.
So, yeah.
And a barber.
What a bad guy.
But I'll tell you what, whatever weight he hasn't gained, I have.
Well, today's game is not about weight loss. It just happened to be one of the top stories, so don't get nervous, okay? All right, now go to your homepage. You're there?
Okay, yep.
Now, what I want you to do is on your search, hit search. Don't type in anything. Okay? Now I want you to type, we're going to start in the alphabet.
Okay.
And we're going to go through the alphabet. And what we're going to do is we're going to share, we're going to hit A. Okay?
Okay.
Hit A. There are you have a bunch of searches there.
Yeah.
And we got to share what each other's first two searches were. Okay? So when I typed in, I'll go first. When I typed in A, Abby from the Ranch was my first one. Now that is the show that I told you about on Netflix called The Ranch.
Right.
And the actress that played the part of Abby, I wanted to see who that was. Okay, so I was looking that up. And my second one is great. You ready for this?
Yes.
Athlete's foot.
You don't have to go too far into that story.
Okay, go ahead. What do you got?
Air fryer potato recipes.
Is that for you or do
we got an air fryer at the house, and Trina was super excited about it, and we're just trying to see what all we can air fry, and we've actually almost everything has come out so far. She's made some potato skins. I made some air fried potato chips one night. And then we've done a few other things. There's a couple things have not.
Now, are they slower than regular? Does it take more time?
No, it doesn't really. It takes like less time than an oven, but it's also kind of it can be trial by fire or trial by air.
Okay.
Yeah, because like some things it's not as hot or it's not as thoroughly cooked, so you have to put it in there for So there's a little bit. It's still taking some getting used to.
Gotcha. What's your second one?
Ally Financial.
Ally Finance. Any idea?
Well, we just bought that new car.
Oh, was
recently,
it through Ally
and it was
Bank?
through Ally. Yeah,
there you
go. We're through a different bank now, but Ally was the previous vehicle.
Okay, I got you.
Very
good.
Go.
All right, now backspace and take the A out and just go back to your search bar. Now we're gonna go with B. All right.
Oh God.
All right. Yeah. You get to go first on B.
Okay, Bloody Disgusting, which is a horror movie website. So that's what that is.
Okay.
This
I'm
trying to think of bed bugs.
Oh my gosh! Why bed bugs?
We don't have bed bugs, but I found a bug crawling on my pillow one night. It was something. It was like a beetle.
Yeah.
So it had just come in the house, I guess, when somebody opened the door. But because it was on my pillow and it was really tiny. But I've watched shows that show like the flecking and things that bed bugs do. So I immediately checked all the corners of my mattress.
Yeah.
And there was nothing there. There was no other bugs on the bed.
There you go.
Just because I saw that on the pillow, I freaked out.
That's you. That's typical you. Speaking of Beatles, my first search on B was Beetlejuice, the movie. A 1988 film. Yeah,
love that movie.
There you go.
One of Michael Keaton's best.
And we were looking. I can't remember what it was. It was. I can't remember. It was the head of the thing. And Missy saw something. She goes, "That looks like Beetlejuice," and I pulled it up to show Jackson the picture.
Right.
And the second one is actually fitting. Bart Darrell. Hey. My law partner, new partner, pulled up, and probably because we were looking for pictures of him.
Right.
So.
Or you're trying to find out all that dirt.
Yeah, on Bart. I was Googling Bart. There you go, Bart, if you're listening. All right, so we're going to
Just as a bonus, bubonic plague is my third one.
That would would not surprise me. God. I don't know why I asked you to play this game with me. All right, so go backspace, and we're going to pull up C, and it's my turn to go first.
All right.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this one ties into work, too. The first one doesn't. It's Cheddar's of Owensboro, and I can tell you why I looked at that was because we were looking yesterday to see what time it closed because we were thinking about there for dinner. The next one is Century Aluminum Death. And you remember when we went out and did the investigation at Century Aluminum on that death, that unfortunate case.
Yeah.
So I had pulled that up to see what kind of news I could find on it when we were being asked to be involved in that case. Go ahead.
This first one's pretty self-explanatory. Coronavirus update.
That's pretty obvious.
And then the second one is Carnegie Science Center. And that's when I took that trip to Pittsburgh a while back we ended up going to the Carnegie Science Center.
Oh, you pulled it up for hours of service?
Yeah,
and
we
stuff?
wanted to see, because we actually didn't plan to go there. We just saw it when we were in downtown Pittsburgh, and we thought, hey, let's go see what that's all about. And they had this mummy exhibit and everything.
That's
So
pretty cool. Now,
it
your
was
first
awesome.
one was what was your first one?
Coronavirus update.
Okay, how far down your list of C's is COVID-19?
5.
Okay, mine's 6 down. 6 down. But
It's
just
right
to let
under
you know,
Cha-Cha Slide.
Mine was Cha-Cha Slide. Did we look up Cha-Cha Slide or something?
Maybe, I don't know.
I have Cha-Cha Slide on mine.
Yeah.
There you go. At least we have one thing in common so far. And
CNN,
it's Cha-Cha
Craigslist,
Slide.
and Costco or some of the others.
No, I have Conference USA football.
Yeah.
All right, next, D, and you're going to go first on this one.
All right.
I'm not going to read mine. I can't do it.
Oh, you got to do it.
I can't do it.
Okay.
This was not the D the other night, by the way.
I won't ask you what kind of D is on there now.
Oh my gosh. I'll read it. Okay.
Do you want to go first, or do you want
No,
me to go?
you're up first.
Okay, Donald Trump Twitter. And that's only because occasionally someone will be, I'll see something and I'm thinking, there's no way that he tweeted that, and he has. So I just want to confirm,
There you go.
And then next is Drake's of Owensboro.
Well, keeping it in line with who my number one search under D was Donato's Pizza.
Okay.
Uh-oh. The second one is dog testicles red and irritated. I promise. Here, I'm not making it up. See? Okay.
My earphones fell out.
So listen, that's because we were wondering if our dog, our pup,
Yep.
whether that was normal, what we saw.
Right.
It looked really abnormal, and so we were looking up pictures to see if that was inflamed or
funny.
not inflamed, and so.
Oh, I'm sure I'm going to have something like
Yes,
that
there,
at
dog.
some point.
So far I've got the winner, the clincher, right?
I would, yes.
Okay. Donald Trump, by the way, came in. He was last place on my D's.
Really?
So yeah, that's
I gotta do something then to change mine.
all right, we're going to E. Oh, this is even better. I go first, right?
Sure.
Yeah. My first one is Evansville massage specialist. I was making Missy an appointment for a massage. That's nice, right?
Okay, that's very nice, yeah.
But number 2, engorged dog testicles.
Inflamed and gorged. Yeah?
So I was looking for some good pictures, wasn't I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Next was Eric Thomas, American motivational speaker. By the way, he's really good. So go ahead.
Mine are really boring. eBay and Etsy.
Mine, eBay and Etsy are on mine,
Yeah.
but you must not search for anything because I think
No.
those are they come up anyway. So, all right, we're on F.
All right.
Your first one isn't what mine is. You're fired.
Family video,
No.
number 1. Yours is probably fat dog testicles.
No. Come on now.
And then Facebook is my second
Oh,
one.
you are fired.
Yeah, what's yours?
Foreman Watson Holtry.
I don't have any Foreman Watson Holtry, but I do have food near me.
I've got Foreman Watson Holtry was my first, and then second was Flofers. Do you know what Flofers are?
No, what are flofers?
Well, Flofers are like loafers that float. They're kind of like a what are those shoes that everybody wears? Crocs.
Oh, yeah.
They're kind of like Crocs, but
hate
they look
Crocs.
like loafers. All right, and they're called Flofers.
They sound super comfortable.
Oh, you need to look them up. They're awesome.
Okay, yeah,
All
I'll
right,
have to look those
Flofers.
up.
And then that would be on your search, okay?
Yep.
All right, let's back out of F. And now we're going to G, and you're up first.
All right. Man, I guess I just don't Google enough stuff because I don't have any. I've got Google and Goo. I don't know.
Maybe you started Google and then stopped.
Maybe.
Yeah. Mine's GNC of Owensboro for all of our vitamins. And second is golf balls.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I golf. All right. That's a boring one. H. I'm first.
Okay.
I have one H. I have one.
Just one? How's that even possible?
How to not slide your hips in your golf swing.
Did you find what you were looking
Yeah,
for?
I was looking for a video.
And
I
it
know
worked?
exactly. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it worked yet. I mean, but yeah, that's what's your H?
Henry's Plumbing and Heating. Because, and you would think it was self-explanatory, but we actually shot part of the movie right outside Henry's Plumbing and Heating recently. So that's, the movie we're filming right now.
13 Sleighs Till
Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
And then Home Depot,
Okay, everybody,
And
every
that's-
man should have H. I
Yeah,
wonder where
and that's
my-
because Trina sent me there to pick up a desk recently, so I had to try to find if it was on like
Gotcha,
an online
gotcha.
thing or yeah.
All right, let's see if we get anything for I. We got to zip through this. We're getting.
Oh, I might have bounced back.
What is your I?
Well, first is IMDb. That's Internet Movie Database. Second is Instagram, Foreman Watson Holtree.
There you go. You're
So,
back.
hey.
Thank you.
No
Thank you,
problem.
PJ. Thank you. Mine are, is there a limit on how much money you can Venmo? And internet service providers in Bowling Green, Kentucky. What is your J?
Junior's Automotive was because we had our car worked on
16 times?
Yeah.
All
Like
right.
26 times. And then John Wick poster. I was watching the John Wick movies recently, so
you wanna-
I'll get the
okay.
poster and then I'll like post it on social media.
Well, like every good lawyer, my J was jury trial.
There you go.
And second one is my family doctor, Jeremy Bradley, MD.
Oh, okay.
So those were my J's. All right, K. Okay, what's your K?
Kroger Pharmacy for my prescriptions because I'm overly medicated.
There you go.
Second is Katrina Stark's address, Owensboro, Kentucky.
You have to know your wife's address.
Logan.
Whoa, wait a minute now.
Logan was asking me recently, he was like, if we look you up on Google, will our address come up? And I was like, yeah, probably. And he's like, well, if we look mom up, will her address come up? So I looked Trina up, and there's other Katrina Starks out there, but she's not on. I mean, she's
Right.
on there, but like our address was not on there. That's why I looked that
Gotcha.
up.
Okay, I've got two.
Okay.
Of course, that's what we're playing, right?
Right.
First is Kraft Philadelphia plain fat-free cream cheese, soft.
That is very specific.
Second was Cool Mo D. Do you remember Cool Mo D?
Yes, it's been a long time.
Cool Mo D. Right there he is. That was second.
So why were you looking up Cool Mo
I
D?
can't remember. Maybe a song or something.
Maybe you're trying to get him on the podcast.
Oh, I could have. That could have been it. All right. So we're gonna go backspace. We're working our way through L.
Oh, these two go together perfectly.
Okay, give it
for
to me. Let's go, because mine are boring.
I'm gonna go number one, then immediately number two.
Okay.
Little Caesars Pizza, LAD artery.
So why are you looking LAD artery up?
I think I was having chest pains.
Oh my gosh.
And I was
PJ.
like, I wonder where and then Kevin Smith a couple years ago had the Widowmaker's
Right.
heart attack, but luckily he survived it, and they cleaned out his LAD artery. So I was like looking up the LAD artery just to
Right.
kind of see where it was at.
Yeah.
And I was also looking up cholesterol and how it clogs the
So
arteries.
you have Little Caesars Pizza
Right.
leading right to the LAD
That's
artery.
right. I went down that rabbit hole.
There
and
you go.
And it started with Little
Well,
Caesars.
mine's kind of food. It's food. Longhorn, Owensboro.
Okay.
And then second is Ladyfingers. The food. You know the food? Have you ever? You know what Ladyfingers are?
I'm not so sure.
Yeah,
That's
look
food.
them up. Yeah. It's like a cookie. It's like a cookie.
Okay.
Yeah, you make it. They're good actually. So look,
Okay.
Ladyfingers. I don't have many things. Lululemon. So what's next?
M. I think you go first.
Boring. Meyer of Owensboro and Mattress Firm.
Okay. Well, those two could almost go together.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mine is Milligan's, which is a bar. I don't drink, but we're shooting
Oh, you're
this
always
weekend.
blaming it on your movies.
I know. We're shooting this weekend. The wraparound sequence takes place at Milligan's.
Oh, okay.
And then Monster Vision, which is that show that used to be on TNT with Joe Bob Briggs.
Oh, okay. Oh, see, this just shows that the law firm paying for my phone is a significant investment for that it's necessary
Right.
because my first one is the Nursing Code of Ethics 2019.
All right.
So I was obviously researching
Yes.
an issue on a nursing issue. And my second is no fault insurance. So there you go.
They're getting their money's
There
worth.
you go. All right. I'm boring, but I am working on my cell
That's
phone.
true.
So when people see me on my phone, don't assume I'm just texting or checking
Right.
Facebook.
Yep.
Okay.
We know what you're looking at.
That's right.
Mine
Dog
is
balls.
that too, and Ladyfingers. Nightmarish Conjurings, which is a horror movie
Horror movie?
website, and then NBA League.
Look at you.
I don't know.
PJ, you are a lot. So all this time when you said you're not a sports fan, don't
I'm-
follow sports.
I think Trina's getting
No,
on my
come
phone.
on. Come on, PJ. You been watching the bubble? The
I don't
NBA
even know
bubble?
what that means.
Okay. LMNO. This could be interesting. Oh. Old Hickory Barbecue. That's
All right.
legit, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That proves where I'm from. Mm-hmm. And then second is Owensboro Health Regional Hospital CEO. Again, probably doing a little research.
Yeah, I'd
All
say
right.
so.
Go ahead.
Owensboro Times. We just had that article that was on the
Right.
Owensboro Times. And then OYO, Owensboro, which is the hotel that used to be the Ramada Inn, that used to be something else that was something else before that.
Gotcha. All right. Why are you looking up the Ramada Inn?
We are
Shooting.
yes,
oh
we're
my gosh.
we're putting our casting.
All right. OMNOP. Oh, yeah. So Pearl Club, where I golf.
Okay.
And the next one is pizza near me.
I'm close. Papa John's. And then Pliskin.
What is that?
That's Snake Plissken from Escape from New York.
Oh, okay.
So it's the Kurt Russell character.
Yep. Q. This will be interesting. Q. Qdoba and quotes. I don't know. Go ahead.
The very first one. Quick zoom, Mr. Mockin' the Fog. In John Carpenter's The Fog, at the very beginning of the movie, there's this character played by John Houseman who's telling this story, and he plays the Mr. Mockin'. There's this weird, quick camera movement that goes from far back, like really quick up onto his face, and it looks like a mess up. And I've always seen it, and then finally I was like, I'm going to look that up, see if anybody else has seen it, and find out what the story is behind that. And other people have seen it, but nobody knows why it's there.
Okay.
And then the second one is Quadrilateral.
Okay.
And that was probably whenever Connor was doing, or Logan were doing their NTI packets.
Geometry.
And I had to look up stuff that I've forgotten about since
well,
I
I'd
went
have
to
to
school.
look up quadrilateral. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Are we on to R?
Yep.
You ready? Mm-hmm. Mine are restaurants in Owensboro and recalls.
Oh, well, that's important.
Again, work.
Yeah.
You know, I'm working on this phone.
You are?
Babe, if you're listening, I am not on Facebook or Instagram. I am working.
That's why you did this episode.
I am working when I'm on my cell phone.
There was a disagreement.
No.
And then you were like,
no,
I know how we can solve this.
This is a
the
Law
podcast.
Light episode of podcast episode. And we always have to bring it back to the law. And today, as we have gone through this game, you have seen that law is like on my mind 24/7. There you go.
Yep.
And eating.
Well, speaking of which, mine's Real Hacienda on 54. And Renner St. John, which she's an actress.
Okay.
So
The Instagram Foreman Watson Holtree is saving you right now. It's the only
glad
thing
that was
work-related you've done. But it's confirming why I don't pay for your cell phone. All right. Very good. S. So mine are interesting. The Summit Church in Orlando, which my stepbrother goes to, and during COVID, I was looking for church services to attend online, on Sundays, and somebody had recommended that one, so I pulled that one up. And then the other one is slope rating information, which is a golf thing where you look at the slope rating of a golf course, and I was kind of reading about how they do that.
right.
Go ahead.
Siren Head is the first one, and this actually is from this morning. Because Connor, he's 9, so everything is like, what if this happens? Or what if this was going on? Or what would you do if this happened to you? And so this morning it was, what would you do if Siren Head was chasing our car? And I'm like, what is Siren Head? So he asked me for my phone, and he looked it up to show me. It's some like creepypasta character where it's like a skeletal being with a siren on his head with a mouth.
So you'd never heard of it until today,
right?
And so now it's on your phone,
and now it's coming back. Yeah, full circle at the very end of the day.
When you were driving to work, and Siren Head came up, did you think you would be discussing Siren Head with me today?
No, as a matter of fact, I thought it was stupid at the time. And I never thought I would have to think about it ever again.
There you go.
That's why I actually have forgotten about it until this very moment. Yep.
All right, there you go.
And then second is Stuber movie. It's there's a movie out called Stuber, and it's really funny. It's a comedy about a guy who's an Uber driver.
Oh, okay.
And then a cop basically commandeers his car, but keeps him as the Uber driver so he can drive him around to different. Trying to solve this crime. It's really funny if you haven't seen it.
Okay, I may have to think.
Stuber.
Stuber. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're now on T. Mine are Top Line Auto Sales and TJ Maxx of Bowling Green.
Town Square Animal Hospital. We just had to take Aurora in for updated shots.
We go there as well. Shout out to them. Free plug. Go ahead.
Love them. And although I had to sit in my car for 3 hours because we went on Saturday morning and I went at like 7:45 thinking there'd be nobody there. No,
I know. It's terrible. Yeah. You have to have an appointment.
Next. And then termites. Because I found a carpenter ant on our floor the other night, and it was probably
just a beetle.
But it was just a carpenter ant. But I thought it was at first I thought termite. Right. Yeah.
Okay. So TU, we're on you now. What are yours?
USPS, and then UPS tracking.
There you go. USPS, man. Have you read all this with Trump and the post office and stuff?
I actually was talking to a friend of mine yesterday who's a postal worker, and she said she's out of Evansville, but she said things really haven't changed for them. But I've seen other, I don't know
what to believe.
Yeah, it's there's so many different conflicting things, but it wouldn't surprise me. Let me put it that way.
Mine are University of Louisville 2020 football schedule.
All right. Canceled?
No, not yet. And University of Louisville 2020-21 academic calendar.
Canceled.
No, not yet. He's saying that for all of you because right before going on here with our show today, we heard that University of North Carolina had canceled classes for the fall semester, taking everybody home.
So are they canceling it across the board?
They're
and just not doing any classes at all?
No classes on campus.
Oh, but it's virtual.
Sending them home.
Oh, okay.
So if you moved your kid in last week, you're picking them up today.
Yikes.
Or tomorrow.
Or not at all, depending on what kind of parent you are.
Yeah, right. Stay down there and catch it. All right. Here we go. UTUV. I don't know where any of these. Vineyard Vines and Vectrin. I don't know why I would look up either one of those things. I don't think I have. I think these are like paid to be on your search.
Virus War app, because I usually don't play games on my phone, but there's a couple that I put on my phone just to, like, if I'm trying to kill time.
It's Virus
War.
Okay.
Yeah. It's actually kind of a fun game. And then Verizon.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Boring.
Yeah.
Let's go. VW, right?
Yep.
Mine are Worldometer Coronavirus US and Wheatgrass Juice Bar.
You'll probably be surprised about this. What is burden of proof?
PJ, there you go.
Because I had I'll give you the quick backstory on that. This past weekend, somebody got on Facebook and made a blanket statement and said that pedophilia was being taught in schools in California, and that was a form of grooming. So I said, cite your source. And they basically came back and said, I did the research myself, you can do it also. And I was like, no, it's called burden of proof. You can't make a blanket statement without backing it up with some kind of factual information.
I was so excited when you said it was burden of proof because I thought you were doing something for work. Instead,
it's still law related.
You are engaging in Facebook fodder and you are arguing about, instead of using it, for something in our case, like we have to prove this.
Hey, I was still teaching someone
That's good.
About law.
Yeah.
And then the second one is Wilford Brimley because he just passed away recently.
WX? I don't think no, mine are, I've never looked this up, so it's just whatever pops up. I have Xbox Series X and Xbox One.
Yeah, I have Xbox Series, but the first one is Xenia Disaster.
Yeah, Tornado? Why were you looking that up?
Because we passed through there.
Okay.
And then
that happened, and I was 3 years old, and my parents lived in Fairborn, Ohio, which is right next to Xenia. And so I know all about that.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about it, but we were passing through there on our way to Pittsburgh.
Right.
See how this all comes full circle?
Right.
And they were like, my friend I was with was like, hey, you need to look this up because, it decimated that town.
Yeah, that was a terrible. My dad had been eating at my dad had been in Xenia and was eating at the McDonald's there. And after the tornado was done, they found the sign of that McDonald's like 10 miles away from where it was. So my dad was like, that kind of put it in perspective for him because he'd been there the day before.
Yeah. So. It made me wonder if that final scene in Twister where that F5 comes through and completely destroys Helen Hunt's aunt's house and their whole town, because that's basically what happens. I was wondering if they based it off Xenia.
I don't know. Why?
No, it's YouTube
Boring.
and Yahoo.
Yeah, mine too. All right, great. So I don't think we'll have a Z either, but let's see. I have Zillow and I have Zales Outlet.
Yeah, I have Zillow and I have Z Movie.
This has been good. Some laughs, some serious.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Good mix of it, and people are playing along. This is a great way to
Yeah, it's
conversation
interesting.
starting out. But here's what we're gonna do before we quit.
Okay.
Go totally. Go to Google. Once you're on Google, just click the search bar, and it's gonna say recent searches.
Okay.
Are you on it?
Yep.
Let's go down and pick 3 interesting recent searches. Usually these are within your last week. Okay.
Okay.
All right, I've got an interesting one. Cicada killer wasp. And the reason I looked up the cicada killer wasp was that somebody posted on Facebook this thing in the ground where it looked like all this dirt had been kicked up, and they're like, what caused this? And somebody said it's the cicada killer wasp.
Right.
And I thought, oh, come on, somebody's messing with that. And I looked up cicada killer wasp, and lo and behold, it really is what a wasp, like these wasps, they get in the ground and they put all this mud up on the ground. And that's what, so I looked up cicada killer wasp. Another very interesting search that I have on here is I looked up an attorney that I had known years ago that I hadn't heard from in years just to see where he was, Sam Bach. So that was one of my searches. And the other was Missy had told me that she wanted to consider going to the Omni in Grove Park, North Carolina. And so I pulled that up and looked at that. And so those are some interesting searches that I have here on my recent searches. What about you?
I'm going to be honest with you. The only thing that I have that's really different, because a lot of these were ones that popped up in my main search. But the only one that is really different is who was Rusty the Mail Girl on Monster Vision. So it goes back to Monster Vision.
There you go. Okay.
So
now, PJ, the reason that we do things like this from time to time, number one is, when we went through there, obviously some legal searches on ours, and on yours, you're at one with Instagram. We've talked endlessly about our marketing and things like that on here. But one of the things that is important, and I want to wrap up with this, is that these things that we hold in our hands, they track us everywhere we go. They open the floodgates to marketing that you don't even know it's opening to you. It is, if found, it can tell a lot about a person, okay? And one of the things that I want to remind people that are listening to our podcast is that more and more and more often, information that is contained on a cell phone is coming into cases and making a difference. All right. So I'm saying this, that, this game shows you that. You had things on your cell phone that you had forgotten you'd looked at. Yeah. And this is tracking your searches. It's tracking where you're going. It's monitoring the speed in which you go places. It's monitoring, I have a Life 360 app for me and the kids. Okay. That thing, one of the things I've started doing in cases is saying, do you have the Life 360 app? Could you please download? And there's a way to download all the data that's off that app, okay? Well, they can't lie to me about where they were on a certain date and the speed in which they were traveling when they were on this, because it records it, just like the computer on your car. So one of the things that I want to tell people is be mindful of what's on your own cell phone, what you're giving, what you're allowing, what you're doing. And second is always think of it as a resource when you're having to go back and document something, because you probably have more information there than you believe. So just a couple of reminders from a legal perspective, how these things have just totally taken over and changed life.
Yeah. Well, I know all the time when you all are doing your research for the cases, like right out of the gate, that's some of the things that you look at is all the social media, and that's directly connected with most people's phones, because when something happens, when a wreck happens, if they're angry about something at a person, whatever the case may be, one of the first things people want to reach for is their phone, because they have that outlet to vent.
Right.
If I have friends who say, hey, I've had this car wreck or this, that, and the other, and I talk to them, one of the first things I always say to them is be very wary of what you put on Facebook, because that can come back to haunt you if you're looking to try to resolve this somehow. Yep. Interestingly enough, and I didn't realize this until here recently, and it fits directly into what you're talking about, but I get updates from Google Map every now and then. And I recently got this update where it was like, hey, happy anniversary of whatever. And it goes, here is a list of all the places you visited in the last 5 years. And it had this extensive list of all the places I'd gone and stayed in the last 5 years in this whole entire
That's incredible.
region. You know, I mean, it was like from vacations to just day trips. Any place I visited, it had this just extensive list, and it was incredibly eye-opening with how much this thing in your pocket really does track your movements.
Yes.
And I'm not doing anything to be worried, but still.
Even if you say, don't allow my location to be known on this app or this,
Right.
it still knows where you're at, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
tracking it. Just along the same thing, Missy and I took Ryan to University of Louisville this past Wednesday. All right, that night we had a hotel in Louisville. All right, we were checking into the hotel, and I got this text from a number, and it was Omni Hotel, because there's an Omni in Louisville. It says, we see that you are visiting Louisville. If you haven't made your reservations, think about the Omni.
Yeah.
And just think about that for a second. They text my phone and reminded me I needed a hotel. Now, we weren't staying there because we wanted to stay somewhere that was right next to campus, because the next day we were going to have to take Ryan and do some things, so we wanted to be convenient. But still, just think about that. Let that register. They knew I was in Louisville. They send me a text suggesting that be my travel plan.
Yeah.
All right.
I get notifications every now and then. I won't even be on Facebook, and I'll go into a place, and this goes directly into the whole geofencing thing. I'll go into a location, and I'll leave, and then I'll get on my phone just to check real quick, and I'll have a notification that was like, hey, how was your time here at this location where I was just at?
Mm-hmm.
And they want me to go on there and rate it and leave a review and that kind of a thing. But I never told anybody I was going to be there.
Right.
It just pings your
There
phone,
you go.
and that's all it takes.
Well, it's just amazing, and I'm sure there's probably layers of it that you and I can't even get our hands around. But
Right.
as I learn these things and see more of this stuff, I just want to share it with the people that listen, because it's one of the purposes of the podcast. I thought this would be kind of a fun way to do it. And also, hey, to have fun with your kids and your wife, go through a search thing like this with them. There's some funny stuff in there, obviously, and some stuff that's kind of serious.
Right.
You kind of see what's
I'm gonna have to play this game with Connor.
Yeah.
Or not Connor, but Logan, and see
Logan
what
will like
pops
it.
up on his
there
phone.
you go. You need to check your kid's phone.
I was gonna say,
hey, I found
he'll
a fun
like it,
game. Let's
or
go.
he won't like
Yeah,
it.
he'll like it until about letter C, and then it'll be all right. Anything else today?
No, I think
All right.
we've more than made up for the very short and sweet episode.
This has been Done Lite, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, FWHlegal.com. Until next time, y'all take care.
This case should never have come to trial.
I don't think it's fair to call my clients frauds. Because one time I turned into a dog and they helped me. Thank you.
Your Honor, we would like to withdraw our plea of not guilty and enter a plea of guilty.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery, of a sham, of a mockery, of a travesty, of two mockeries of a sham.
If we are to have faith in justice, we need only to believe in ourselves.
And the truth shall set you free!
How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Oh, guilty, but with a real good excuse.
I think the truth will come forth.
You can't handle the truth!